کاوش مدیا.
All right, everybody get ready and buckle up because Mike Pompeo gave a speech this week that honestly should terrify you because it's a sign from the Trump administration as to what they're going to do next, or at least what they're heavily considering.
Al-Qaeda has a new home base. It is the Islamic Republic of Iran.
Unmitigated, brazen, grotesque, over-the-top lie. He's a liar. He's lying to you, and he knows he's lying to you. This is the exact same playbook that the government used with Iraq. What was the original argument? What was the original argument before the Iraq War? Oh, Saddam Hussein is working with al-Qaeda and Osama bin Laden, and he's giving them cover. And he's taking care of them. And they have an alliance, and they have an allegiance. And that's why we need to go after Saddam, because he's at least partly responsible for 9/11. That was never true. That was wrong from the very first claim at the very first second. Guys, anybody who knows anything about the Middle East, even the tiniest bit about the Middle East, will tell you what? Al-Qaeda is fundamentalist Sunni. They're Salafists or Wahhabists. Iran is a Shia theocracy. Not only are they not allies, they are mortal enemies. You have a Shia theocracy and, Sunni fundamentalism. Iran is literally ahead of the United States in terms of who Al-Qaeda wants to wipe out. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? That, there's deep among Sunni fundamentalists, anti-Shia sentiment is perhaps even more than anti-American sentiment. Do you not understand that? I know a lot of you guys understand that. Anybody who knows anything about the Middle East understands that. But they're really trying to build the case that no, they're actually allies. And they've been for decades. He said they've been for decades. I'm just stunned at the nature of the lies that they try to get away with. By the way, there was an admission in that speech where he said, there's far fewer al-Qaeda in Afghanistan now. So why are we there? He just casually admitted, al-Qaeda's basically been defeated in Afghanistan. So why are we there? Why are we there? And also the deep irony of he's saying Iran is working with al-Qaeda. This is at the same time that the U.S. government has been giving arms and money to jihadist elements on the ground fighting the civil war in Syria. That's not my opinion. We have General Petraeus on the record saying, let's arm al-Qaeda because they might fight ISIS. And of course, they also wanted them to fight Bashar al-Assad. That's not me saying it. The freaking Daily Beast mainstream publications reported that General Petraeus and elements of the U.S. intelligence and the U.S. deep state and the Pentagon, they were saying, let's arm al-Qaeda because they could be our ally. What does that sound like? That sounds exactly like the 1980s with Ronald Reagan when they were fighting the Soviet Union in Afghanistan. Let's arm the Mujahideen. And then eventually the Mujahideen broke up, became the Taliban and al-Qaeda, and we had armed our enemies. We had provided material support to our enemies, the people who went on to attack us. So, talking about the alliance between Iran and al-Qaeda, which doesn't exist. Meanwhile, the U.S. has aligned ourselves with jihadist elements, not only in Syria, but we give multi-billion-dollar weapons deals to, Mohammed bin Salman and Saudi Arabia as they're carrying out a genocide in Yemen. Let me ask you a question. Who do you think is on the ground fighting the Houthis in Yemen? The Shia Houthis. Who's fighting the Shia Houthis? Sunni militias. Who are the Sunni militias? Let's think about that one. Al-Qaeda. So we're providing arms and money and support to Al-Qaeda on the ground in Yemen, on the ground in Syria, as he pretends like there's an alliance with Iran and Al-Qaeda, when Iran's been fighting Al-Qaeda. The guy who they just assassinated, General Soleimani, he was one of the top anti-jihadist fighting forces on the ground. And we murdered him. We assassinated him. The U.S. government did that. The lies are so over the top, man. It's disgusting.
آنچه در مورد ما میگویند